I've got a good one for you today because James Talarico, who, if you don't know, is a liberal pastor who's also a Democrat in the Texas legislature, went to a super red district and won them over. It's incredible. No one's covered this, but that's what we're going to do here in this channel. We're going to talk about the things no one else is talking about. James Talarico really is giving the blueprint of how we can message and move forward in this new era. And look at these pictures. Look at these pictures right here. James Talarico showed up to a red district and there was a line waiting outside. There were, I'm told, 1,000 people there. And I'm also told from the campaign that this is the first time many people went to a rally at all. This is what we need to do. We need to go anywhere and everywhere because our message is better, but we have to make sure that people who need to hear it do hear it. So if you don't know, James Talarico goes viral all the time. And here's just a taste of what he does.
The only minority destroying America is the billionaires. Here in Texas, a group of billionaires are trying to privatize our public schools and sell them off brick by brick. Their private school voucher scam will use the tax dollars of plumbers and nurses to fund coupons for wealthy parents who are already sending their kids to private school. It's theft, it's fraud, it's corruption.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, James took that message, like I said, to a super red district. And here's just a bit of that. First off, here was James's backstory, which I did not know, about his mother and his father who had substance abuse problems.
A preacher's daughter from Laredo who left home at 19, moved up to Austin, met my birth father, a 21-year-old high school dropout whose drinking problem sometimes led to violence. And one night he became abusive again. But that night my mother's love rose to meet it. She packed all of our stuff into her little Ford Escort. She drove me to the hotel where she works, and the manager let us stay in one of the rooms until we could find this little apartment in East Austin. There wasn't room for a nursery, so I slept in a crib in her closet. And she was so proud of that closet. She decorated it with toys and pictures. No one was going to tell her it wasn't a nursery.
That's a small anecdote, but to me, it's a big, powerful statement because I think I'm just kind of sick of there being so many Democrats who come from wealth and money. And most people don't have that experience. And it's nice to know that there are people fighting for those who don't have enough, who know what it feels like to not have enough. I come from a very, I'll say working class, but I just remember many days where my dad had to decide how to make $20 work so that it paid for gas, but also so it could feed us. And I remember never wanting to have to agonize over money like that ever. And really having to worry about money is such a specific feeling, such a specific anxiety. And we need people in office who not only know what that's like, but have an understanding of how to fix it. And I think James is offering that blueprint here. And because part of the solution is also knowing what the problem is. And I love this. Maybe some of you won't, but James really does dissect what is wrong with the National Democratic Party.
She told me we were Democrats because she said Democrats fight for the people. Now, let's be honest, the National Democratic Party hasn't shown that kind of fight in a long time. But this moment of crisis demands fighters, not folders. Imagine a Democratic Party that stands up to big money and isn't beholden to it. Imagine a Democratic Party that listens to people, not DC consultants. Imagine a Democratic Party that delivers on housing, on healthcare, on education, and actually defeats the right-wing extremists who have taken over this country. The National Democrats don't know how to fight. They are too comfortable on the coast and too comfortable with the status quo. But there's something about living in a red state that makes you scrappy. because Texas Democrats know how to fight.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree that I just feel like Democrats, especially the National Party, have not shown up the way that we need right now against what is truly an authoritarian takeover of our country. And I do think that in order to get better, you need to know what's wrong. And there is something deeply wrong with the way that I think some Democrats, not all, but some Democrats feel comfortable with the way things are. But I don't think the way things are the way we want them to be. And in order to change things, sometimes you got to change the people who are leading us. And that's one reason why, like I've said before, I have partnered with this organization called Oath, and and just real quick, we have selected 5 of the most flippable House races in the country. We've already raised more than $5,600 for these candidates. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to the Keith Edwards audience who are showing up and making sure that we do elect better Democrats, because part of fixing this problem isn't attacking Republicans, it's also making us better. And part of making us better means electing people who understand the problem as it is today. And if you are feeling motivated to make a difference, this is one way you can do it, is by helping flip the House, because when we have control of the House, we can actually make sure that we are a check on Donald Trump and his worst impulses. So please do try to donate if you can and are able. Now, this is my favorite thing that he says. It's a little bit longer, but I think people need to hear this, because so many people feel comfortable attacking Muslims or the trans community, and that's wrong. But no Democrat has really been able to tie it all together about why it's not only wrong, but how it's misplaced. And here's what James says.
That is what we do. We fight for the many against the powerful few, whether it's billionaires, whether it's bullies, whether it's bigots. And you know, the more I see what is happening in this state and in this country, the more I think the only minority destroying America is the billionaires. Trans people are 1% of the population. Muslims are 1% of the population. Undocumented people, 1% of the population. We are focused on the wrong 1%.
Hell yes. Hell yes. I love that messaging. We need to take that and run with it.
Trans people aren't taking away our health care. Muslims aren't defunding our schools. Immigrants aren't cutting taxes for themselves and their rich friends. It's the billionaires and their puppet politicians. The culture wars are a smokescreen. So many of the divisions in the state and in this country are manufactured by billionaires who want us fighting each other instead of fighting them. They want us looking left and right at our neighbors instead of looking up at them. The biggest divide in our politics is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom.
Top versus bottom? I'm five. It's okay.
The people at the top, the Elon Musks, the Rupert Murdochs of the world, they work so hard to keep us angry and divided because our unity is a threat to their wealth and power. So their social media algorithms and their cable news networks, they tear us apart. They divide us by race, by gender, by culture, by religion. They divide us on a regular basis. It's the oldest strategy in the world, divide and conquer. They want us to be afraid of immigrant moms and gay kids so that we don't realize that they are abolishing the Department of Education, gutting our health care, and cutting taxes for their donors. They want to keep us from seeing all that we have in common. They want to keep us from realizing that there is far more that unites us than divides us. Because once we do, we will come together across race, across gender, across culture, across religion to take power back for ourselves and our communities. That's what they are afraid of.
Man, that fired me up, and I needed to get fired up. I hope it fired you up, because I have been feeling, I don't think I feel hopeless, but we need leaders. We need leaders. And if we're not being led, then we need to find people who want power, who are able to adequately identify the problem and the solution. And I think that's exactly what he did. So again, we need to lift up more candidates and elected officials who are meeting the moment. And I think James is doing just that. So thank you to James for giving me my daily dose of hope. And I hope it was a daily dose of hope for you too. If you like this video, please hit like on the video. More people will see it if you hit like. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We have a lot of fun here, and I will see you next time. Bye.